Hello and welcome to The Fourth Wave, a podcast named after the fourth wave of feminism that aims to inspire, empower, inform, and celebrate the woman of today. Each episode, we will give you strategies and ideas for living a life as your most empowered self. This week, we will talk about the importance of being present in a digital world, social media and Exes, and a self-empowerment booster that always leaves us feeling powerful and able to take on the day. I'm Mirtha Michelle, a best-selling author and poet. I am your host and co-founder of The Fourth Wave, and I'm here in Los Angeles, a little sick, and I'm alongside co-founder Jamie Barada.
That's me, Jamie Barada, an entertainment and fashion attorney living in Los Angeles. Mirtha, I feel so bad for you. You're super sick today.
I mean, as long as I don't feel it, I sound it, but I don't feel that sick, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys don't hear it too much. But, okay. So by now you may have noticed that we like to start off each episode by sharing strategies that help us feel a sense of empowerment in our daily lives, things that work for us and hopefully can work for you too. And we love it most when these strategies and tips actually come from our listeners. So please write to us with what works for you at info@theivywave.com. Or you can DM us on Instagram or Twitter at the Ivy Wave. And this week, our Try This at Home, as we like to call it, has to do with social media and how important it is to carve out time to disconnect from social media.
Which is so hard to do, I admit. Mm-hmm. I love Instagram. It's like I could live without Facebook and Twitter, but for some reason, I still cannot let go of Instagram.
I know. And it can, I mean, we didn't grow up with social media. So
how did we become addicts?
I know. It's consuming. I feel like I hear this from a lot of people actually, like, oh, how do I disconnect? I want to just like do a social media cleanse, or I think it affects everyone the same way. 'Cause it's like, it's a flood of other people's lives, like a stream of other people's lives. And I don't know if that's like always the healthiest, you know?
Well, especially if you're not feeling good about yourself and then you're watching other people's highlight reel. That's what I like to call it, because social media is such a facade most of the time. It's not what it is in real life. I always feel like some people's lives look so exciting.
Yeah, totally. That is not their everyday life. And obviously there are pros and cons to it, but I think it's really important to
disconnect from it. I agree.
Like, and if it's hard, if it can't come naturally to you, then setting a rule for yourself, like I will not look at social media, and this sounds so silly, but I will not look at social media, whenever I'm sitting down to a meal with someone. That way that person has my full attention.
Good idea.
Or sometimes that's hard.
Or right before bed.
Right before bed. Or even just in terms of just, even disconnecting from our phone. Like just put your phone away. Like not just social media, but put your phone away.
It's so interesting you say that, because I don't think we even realize how we are rude sometimes, always on our phones. It's like, it's a true addiction.
Yeah, it is.
And it's so rude, especially like when you're out on a date with someone, or I always pay attention to that. I always pay attention if I'm on a date, if the guy pays attention to his phone. I feel that if he's not paying attention to his phone, that means that he really, really likes me.
Yeah, you have his full attention.
And I really, really like him. Right. I remember the last guy I was dating, and I would never look at my phone when I was with him. I enjoyed our time together so much that I was never looking at my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, and people can feel that from you too. They can feel that they have your full attention. So I think it's super important. And so it might be, meals, or I had a friend who's a colleague, and he had to make a rule for himself. I will not look at my phone, the 2 hours before I go to sleep. That's just, my time to be present, to decompress from the day, to just relax and not, and honestly, like, what do you need to be looking at your phone for the 2 hours before you go to sleep?
I think it's just habit.
Yeah.
I don't even think that it's something that we need to do. I think it's just a bad habit.
Mm-hmm. It's like what is it? It's like we're addicted a little bit, though. So I think you have to set these boundaries, So yeah, let us know if you try this at home. Schedule time out of your day where you completely disconnect from social media. Maybe it's the 2 hours before bed. Maybe it's when you're sitting down to a meal with someone. And let us know if it helps you feel a sense of empowerment and control in your daily lives. You can get in touch on Twitter. Drop us an email at info@theivywave.com or go to www.theivywave.com for our contact info, links, and everything else related to this podcast.
Okay, so our big topic for this episode is social media and exes. The do's and don'ts. This is about to get juicy. First, social media and relationships in general are a very tricky subject.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking, because knowing we were going to be talking about this, I was thinking about it while I was driving, and I was like, what is positive about social media for relationships? Like, very few things.
I hate the idea of showing who you're dating, who you're involved with, just because for some reason, this is what I believe, there are people that watch what you're doing and they will feel happy for you. They will send you good, positive vibes. But then there are also people that are negative and will send you negative vibes. And I don't know. I feel that I wouldn't want to jeopardize something very special. So I'm really, I always joke around saying that next time I'm in a very serious relationship, the most people are going to see on my Instagram page is his hands.
Right. And that's true.
Because there's so many girls that want what you have.
Totally.
Like, I'm trying to keep my life clean of any negative energy.
Right, or they'll follow you in your relationship and,
And then they'll date your man when you break up.
But aside from that part
and
of
act like they had no idea.
Aside from that part of it, well, the one thing I do like about it, I guess, is like, when you're dating someone, you get so excited and you want to share with people how happy you are. Yeah, you want to tell
the world. Remember when Tom Cruise jumped on the couch?
Yes.
On Oprah? When he told the world that he was in love with Katie? Yeah. And where are they now?
Right. But so it is that there you're right. There are very few pros. And even aside from like sharing, right, like posting about it, there's the whole, okay, if we both have social media and we're following each other, you can see what each other likes. You can see what they're tagged in.
Which sometimes causes arguments.
For sure. Because
depending how jealous you are. I'm Latin. Yeah. I'm a little crazy.
And I don't think guys get it, because they'll be like, what? I was just a like. But it's like, no. A like is your subconscious. There's psychology to this. So even if it's just like this reaction where you're just like, scrolling through like whatever, it's you're subconsciously saying, I liked something about that. Obviously, the button is called like, and if it's a girl, if it's someone in
half
posing
naked,
the wrong, wearing a certain outfit or in a certain pose, or no one else is in it but her, or it can make
his ex-girlfriend.
Right. Or like his ex-girlfriend with her family. Even if it's something like pure, like a family photo, it's like, why are you
liking your ex's pictures, huh?
Right. I'm sure everyone listening to this, unless one of the people in the relationship doesn't have social media, I'm sure everyone has gotten into it about social media with their boyfriends.
Why is it that when I've met guys that don't have social media, I get excited? I'm like,
it's
wow,
attractive.
That means that if I actually have something serious with this guy, I'm avoiding all these arguments already as it is, just because he doesn't have social media. It's so sad, but I do think that sometimes.
I will say, like, not in the beginning. So in my relationship now, when we first started dating, I was always looking at what he was liking, you know? But
psycho. Just kidding. I do the same.
I literally had a conversation with myself when I had to decide, like, do you really want to give this a fair shot? Because if you do, you can't do that, because then you're always going to create a problem out of something. So I do not look at who he like or what things he likes anymore. Nothing. Like, I don't go, because you literally can go looking for an issue, something to make an issue out of, because you can make it,
and you can project it too.
Yeah,
I'm very into manifestation, and I think you can project certain negative things as well. Yeah. But let's go back to the whole social media and exes. We're the generation that social media is all new to us. Our parents didn't have social media, so it's not like they could have taught us the protocol of what to do when you break up with someone. And do you unfollow them? What do you do? Because I know what I've done in the past, but I'm trying to be a mature woman now.
I think it depends on
the degree of the seriousness of the relationship.
That and the breakup, like how ugly it is. I've definitely had different experiences. So, for example, there was one breakup, and we're not going to name names, but you'll know who I'm talking about, Mirtha, the more I talk. So there was one breakup I went through. And, it was a long distance relationship. It just didn't work out. We were like giving it a second try. Same problems were there the first time many years ago. And it just didn't work out. It was like plain and simple as that. There was no other reason that we were breaking up. And, the breakup itself probably could have been handled a little bit better, because it was handled while we were both in our different cities. But anyways, so we had broken up, but like his friends, I guess, did not know we were broken up. And 2 weeks later was Coachella. And I'm not going to go into that. So 2 weeks later was Coachella, and I ran into another ex at Coachella. And
they saw you. They took it the wrong way.
Yeah, his friend saw me. They took it the wrong way. And literally, like,
within minutes, you were blocked.
I wasn't blocked, but his friend unfollowed me, like, who was not even there. So literally a guy group chat had to be going on where the friends that were there said something.
I love how men sometimes are worse than girls.
Yeah. So I think I can't remember if him and I had unfollowed each other at that point, but that one was definitely more of like, I call it like a high school breakup, because there were so many layers of it that were just so immature, like friends getting involved, and it was really hard to be the bigger person. And I'm sure I unfollowed him soon. Whereas the more recent breakup I went through, like a couple years ago, we stayed following each other for like maybe I stayed following him for like maybe 8 months after the breakup. And then I decided to unfollow out of respect for the new person I was dating. And also, he started dating someone, and I didn't want to be seeing that. And then he unfollowed me like a year and a half later, actually 2 weeks ago. But I say that to say that was one time where, like, I feel like we handled it pretty maturely, and there was no pettiness, I don't know. What about you?
Well, when I guess the last real big breakup I had was a couple of years ago. And it was a very bad breakup. Some of you perhaps read about it in Letters to the Men I Have Loved. And yeah, I actually blocked him. I unfollowed his entire family and friends. And what I actually did is that I blocked all of them and then unblocked them so they would stop following me as well.
Right.
And then it was funny because I remembered his siblings started following me again right after that. Like, it's like they perhaps thought it was some sort of glitch in the system or something. So they just refollowed me. I was like, okay, whatever. No, it was, I blocked him. Then when he noticed that I blocked him, he texted me. He's like, wow, it's like that. And then he blocked me. And we blocked each other for a while. But then I would notice, then sometimes I think he would get drunk and like my pictures. I think that was his way of reaching out to me. But I mean, I don't think I'd ever do that again.
Right.
That was a long time ago. I feel that I've matured since then. I just, someone told me something that the opposite of love is not hate. It's indifference. And I feel that social media, when you break up with someone, if you give it too much thought, you're giving that person so much power over your life. And I've made a conscious choice to not give other people more power over my life than I have. And so I try not to think about it. It's like, okay, if I stop dating someone, I still follow them. I don't care. Unless they start posting things that might affect me.
Right.
Because I don't have to see it if I don't want to.
You don't want to put... It's such negative energy when it's like, when you're putting that... When you're going through that whole cycle of blocking and this and that, I do think though that it definitely depends on
the level
the
of
breakup
seriousness
and the breakup. Like if someone did something really wrong to, like you cheated on you.
Yeah, if someone did something really wrong to you, they cheated on you.
Yeah,
yes,
you don't need to be the bigger person and
be
follow
friends
them.
with them at all.
Right. But if it's just a relationship that comes to an end because things didn't work out, then I think handle it gracefully. The advice I would tell my younger self definitely would be to handle it gracefully. Try not to be petty when it comes to social media.
Don't tweet anything crazy.
Right. And then when it comes to a place of maybe you're in a new relationship and it's out of respect for your new person or they're in one. So
what if you're not in a new relationship? Mm-hmm. What do you do when you still love that person, right? Mm-hmm. So many people obsess and they keep checking the person's pages, even if they stop following them.
That is a good... Oh, I see what you're saying.
What do you do? It's like you're obsessing over what they're posting because you want to know what they're doing.
Yeah. We're all so human, so it's hard for me to say don't, but I would really work hard.
It's going to be really hard to move on if you obsess about it.
I would work. It's going to be, yes, it's going to be super hard to move on. You're not really fully allowing yourself if you keep checking in on their life. And we've all done this. But then I would say to work really hard at breaking that habit because it is holding you back from giving to yourself and giving to the next relationship.
The worst part is that they're probably going to look happy. Because when people break up, they always want to show that they're so happy, that they're better off without that person. They might be posting more, but it's just to kind of throw it in your face.
Yeah,
it's not happy without you.
It's not going to help you.
It's not going to help.
Nothing good
whatsoever.
is going to come out of it.
I remember when I went through that big breakup, I would look at my ex's Instagram page. I was blocked, but I would look through my friends' pages, and he seemed like he was doing so well. He looked happy. And I was pretending that I was super happy as well, like in my pictures.
Right.
But I was miserable just thinking that he was happy. It's like I didn't want him to be happy. I had to work on that so hard. I literally had to pray so much about it so I could free myself from those negative thoughts, because it wasn't making me feel any better. And come on, like, just dragging that energy.
Yeah.
Those are definitely the cons of social media.
For sure. I think, the takeaway is, don't check. Mirtha prayed about it. Whatever you need to do to...
And don't be petty.
Yeah, don't be petty.
And don't start posting half-naked pictures thinking, it's like, now you're free.
Right.
That's going to get him to text you.
Don't give it power. If the relationship ended because it didn't work, then you don't need to be looking back at it. You know, there's nothing there for you to be checking for.
And I always like to think that if something didn't work out, it's because there's something better in store for you. And sometimes you just dodged a bullet. So that's it for today's episode of The Fourth Wave. But before we go, every episode, we will leave you with a little self-empowerment booster tip that we use in our personal lives. They will be simple and straightforward. My personal booster I want to share this week is...
What's yours? I have one. Okay, it's really silly. Really silly, but everyone can do this. It makes me feel really good by starting my day off with lemon water. And that sounds really silly, but just boiling like some warm water, drinking warm water with lemon, for some reason it sets the tone for me. Like, okay, today is going to be a day where I'm taking care of myself. I'm going to be healthy. The things I'm putting into my body, I'm going to consciously be choosing more or less,
That's how I am with tea.
Yeah.
I love to start my day with tea.
Yeah, I think whatever you start your day with really sets the tone for the rest of the day. So if you can start your day with something that makes you feel good, I think that'll always empower you.
Well, remember to try this at home. Carve out some time to disconnect from social media and learn to be present. Let us know if you tried it and if it worked for you.
You can get in touch with us. Mirtha's on Instagram at Mirtha Michelle, and I'm Jamie _Barada, and our email address is info@theivywave.com. Send us your comments and feedback. Until next time, I'm Jamie Barada.
And I'm Mirtha Michelle.
Thanks for joining us.